Welcome to another Irish Nerdist video. This video we will review Josh Trank's Fantastic Four reboot. What can we say about this film? Well, this reboot of the Fantastic Four is at best plain exposition with no sense of payoff or satisfaction. It makes you want to revisit the Tim Story directed movies back in the early 2000s for the family dynamic, fun-oriented Marvel comic that this film wants you to ignore. Though in hindsight it's not a complete disaster until the final act comes out of nowhere and turns the film into a ridiculous superhero movie. So the film follows Miles Teller's Reed Richards as he enters into a full scholarship with the Baxter Foundation, where Reggie Carty's Dr. Franklin Storm uses him for his scientific mind, along with his adopted daughter Sue, played by Katie Mara, and his former troubled protege Victor Von Doom, Toby Kebbell, who played Kobo in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And he brings the team together to build the first interdimensional travel machine. Once Reed, Victor, Johnny Storm, played by Michael B. Jordan from Chronicle, Ben Grimm, Jamie Bell, and Sue traveled to the Negative Zone and gained their fame-worthy superpowers. Doom, given his name, decides that humanity has had its chance, so decides to destroy the world. So it's up to the quartet to stop him. This film lacks any real character development and relationships. Reed and Ben have very few scenes together, and you're meant to believe that they've been best friends since childhood, and the film never fully realises that relationship. Besides one group bonding session before they go into the Negative Zone, which involves some alcohol and some banter between the members. After that scene, the quartet have no more group bonding sessions. Sue Storm seems to like Reed, but isn't interested in him in a romantic way that the previous films have alluded to, and she is cast aside from the trip to Negative Zone, only gains her powers once the guys return. Seeing how they cope with new ordeals and powers is left to our imagination, as the screen cuts to black with 1 year later, and we see they're kitted out with their powers under control. Ben is left sulking as the Thing. Johnny becomes the only member, and possibly only cast member, who has fun with the role as being the puppet for the government, and Sue is trying to master her powers at the base, even though she wants nothing to do with the government. What about Richards? Does he try and rescue his newfound family from the clutches of the government? Nada. Even though he had a good chance to, and flees the base, and in the year he has his own containment suit while trying to look for Ben so he can cure him. The film starts with Reed and Ben doing insane science experiments, science bros for the win, which fails to impress at a science fair, which is judged by Mr. Homer Simpson himself, Dan Castellaneta, which they conclude is done with sleight of hand magic. Really, an interdimensional portal just appears suddenly in a school science fair, and you dismiss it as magic. Reed leaves the school, and he does with Dr. Franklin Storm, and the film takes up a good time with the Baxter Foundation. While the build-up to the creation of the interdimensional machine takes up a good portion of the film, we never get to witness Reed and the others bonding, or even letting us enter their lives. Ben is a latecomer, and again you don't see him broing out with the others beyond Reed. With all his fallen by side character progression, the final battle with Doom feels very empty, with no excitement or even suspension attached to it. Thus the family bond that the film keeps shoving in our faces through Franklin Storm is never realised, and feel that the actors were only there to get their paycheck and leave before their reputation is in ruins. For all the slack the early Tim Story movies get, the family dynamic was much more present there, and you feel that they could have been a lot of fun together. After finding Victor again in the Negative Zone, we see him being transformed, and this is where things go haywire badly. suddenly becomes a save the world film, which it hasn't earned and which we have no investment emotionally in the team. The CGI effects for the transformed Doom look terrible. Toby Cabell did better as a motion capture ape than an underdeveloped, underwritten, shoehorned villain. The superpowers make absolutely no sense. One moment he's performing telekinesis, and next moment he's going down a dark corridor exploding people's heads through willpower? Why he wants to destroy the world is left for the audience to wonder about. The portal to end the world has been done to death in recent and far better superhero movies. The final fight in the negative zone lacks any real tension or thrills. The Thing's famous phrase, "It's clobbering time," is quoted here, but the association Ben has with this phrase is his bigger brother saying the phrase before beating him as a child. Now seriously, whose idea was to write down to the script that association Ben has with that? Even though Ben in the film, I wouldn't think naturally would say it's clobbering time, just uses it because the Thing, that's his famous phrase, so whatever way the filmmakers wrote that in was bad. As we heard, the film has been dogged with lots of reshoots, and the differences between principal photography and reshoots are very evident. In one way, Sue's changing hairstyles and even shades of blonde, and Reed's facial hair seems to change from one room to the next. The visual effects don't hold up very well either. The Thing is there as a CG character, while the Hulk in the Avengers looks more photorealistic. So, in conclusion, Marvel's first family deserves a lot better treatment than this drab attempt to hold on to the rights of the characters away from Marvel Studios. Some fans have suggested, and in my opinion I totally agree, for Fox to sell the rights back to Marvel as they did with Daredevil. But if it were to happen, if Marvel Studios ever reacquire the rights, would audiences be satisfied with it given its mediocre status during the years? Well, this is another video for Irish Nerdist. If you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe. Bye.